State Fullerton has done it. They've gone from 15 and 16 to champions of college baseball.
Welcome to the 1,544 Miles to Omaha podcast, talking about the past, present, and future of Cal State Fullerton baseball.
Top of the ninth, 3-1. Fullerton State leading Texas in the championship game of the College World Series. Here it is. Popped in the air, short left field. In comes Fischel, he's calling. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton are the champions of college baseball.
That one got in on his fist. Did he get enough of it with the ball carrying? It's gone! Dustin Gurnea, a jam shot that carried over the 335-foot mark in left field.
Here's your host, Dave Lamb.
Welcome into the episode 64 of the 1544 Miles to Omaha podcast. Joining me today is assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Josh Belovsky, who along with head coach Jason Dietrich and assistant coach Neil Walton recently signed 11 student athletes to national letters of intent to play for the Titans. The second class under the Dietrich regime is arm heavy, with 7 of the 11 signees pitchers, including 5 right-handers and 2 left-handers. Offensively, the class includes 3 infielders and 1 outfielder. And 2 of the pitchers were also listed as dual threats as an infielder as well. So, welcome into the show.
Thank you. Appreciate
Congratulations on the recruiting class. Give us your overall thoughts on the class as a whole, and then we'll be able to jump right in and kind of talk about guys individually.
We're excited about this class. This was our first class. You said it's our second, which it is, but some of those guys were previously recruited here. So this was basically our first class that we got to build from the ground up. So we're really excited. Feel like we addressed a lot of needs that we had, and we're excited to get those guys in a Titan uniform.
Well, yeah, obviously, first full recruiting class. The previous recruiting class was kind of a mix, like you said. And I was talking with Coach Dietrich a little bit ago that this year's class was ranked 62 by Perfect Game, and I believe the previous year's was ranked 83. So obviously, moving in the right direction. I don't know how much value you put in those recruiting rankings by the different publications, but is that something you guys don't pay attention to, or is it just kind of a nice little feather in your cap if you get a good number?
Yeah, I mean, you look at those things. It's always nice to see those type of things out there. But at the end of the day, I think the proof's in the pudding. It'll be about the wins on the field and the type of players that we bring in. So those are nice to look at, but at the end of the day, it's all about the W's.
We'll open this class is heavy on arms. Was that a focus in recruiting, or was that just the way the class fell with guys committing to the program?
No, I think, coming in and going through the year last year and looking at what we had, we felt like that was an area we really needed to address. And so, there's certain type of pitchers that Coach Dietrich likes, and that's what we went out to try to find. And I think we got those guys coming in.
Let's just jump to the good part, what fans are really here to hear about, and talk about the different signees and get your thoughts on them. We'll go in alphabetical order and not by which one signed first. And you might have to help me with a few of the pronunciations. Is it Chad? Is it Gurnea?
We say Gurney, so
Gurney. Okay, there you go. He's listed as a right-handed pitcher and an infielder. He's out of Garden Grove High School and Pacifica High School. He's a 3-year letter winner at Pacifica, and during the 2022 season earned first-team All-Empire League along with Empire League Pitcher of the Year, Division II All-CIF, and third-team All-Orange County. So sounds like a pretty good arm coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing we focus on is athletes, and that's what Chad is. He's a guy that, like you said, he can play infield. He's also caught. And he's pretty good on the mound, so that gives us a lot of flexibility. It's tough to do both in college, but we like to give guys that opportunity. I mean, there's been some pretty good ones here with Michael Lorenzen and J.D. Davis, and Coach Dietrich, had an opportunity to coach those guys. So we like the versatility, we like the athleticism. What he'll end up ultimately, kind of depends on him and how he can handle it. And but we like, the fact that he can do both.
And then another arm, you're going to sense a theme here, plenty of arms here. Payton Hawkinson, he's a left-handed pitcher, Turlock, California, Turlock High School. Last spring as a junior, he earned the CCAL First Team All-League and was named the CCAL Pitcher of the Year.
Yeah. Now Payton, he's a guy that is already drawing some pro attention. He's 6'6", left-handed, so that right away catches your eye. He's got tremendous upside. He's a guy that, he can come in here and be one of those big-time weekend guys for us down the road. So we're really excited about Payton and his upside and his opportunity to work with Coach Dietrich.
And then sticking with on the mound, Chris Hernandez, right-handed pitcher, Bakersfield, out of Bakersfield Christian High School. It's a 4-year letter winner and was the 2022 South Yosemite League Pitcher of the Year and recorded 121 strikeouts as a junior.
Yeah, Chris is another one that pro scouts are aware of, and he played on the area code team this summer for the Brewers, and he's someone guys will be going out to see. He just transferred schools, so he's at Bakersfield Christian now. We saw him last summer and in the spring last year, but he's another one that we're really excited to get on campus, and he's got tremendous upside as well.
The first infielder, first position player, is Tyler Holley. He's an infielder from Laverne, went to Bonita High School, or goes to Bonita High School. He's a 3-year letter winner. What about Tyler? Yeah,
Tyler's a physical, plays shortstop, may slide over to third base or some second base, but he's physical, he's strong. We feel like he can develop power down the road. He was teammates with Luke Mastone, so we got to see Tyler while we were out, watching Luke as well. But we're excited about, what he can bring with the bat and also on the field, and hopefully stay up the middle for us.
Hopefully I don't make this a bad pronunciation, but is it Jason Krakoski?
Yeah, Jason Krakoski. He's a pitcher up in Livermore that goes to Gurnea High School. Another, you'll probably see a theme. These guys are, 6'2" and above. He's loose, athletic. He's also played. He'll play some outfield, I'm sure, for high school, but we see him, his future being on the mound for us. But another, arm that has upside, and he also played in the area code games this summer. He was on the Oakland A's team, so people are aware of him as well. So some of these guys now we got them committed. Now we just got to get them on campus and hopefully let them sign pro contracts after they've been here for 3 years.
Another infielder, Marcos Rosales, West Covina from South Hills High School, a 4-year letter winner for South Hills.
Yeah, Marcos is one of those grinder, just baseball rat type players. Plays the game hard, type that Titan fans are used to seeing, with former Titans. So he fits that mold. He could play shortstop, second, third, just a tough out at the plate, but just plays. He'll be dirty all the time, and just one of those, like I said, grinder baseball type guys.
Ny'Zaiah Thompson. He's the only outfielder in the class from Oakland, Mountain House High School. He's a 4-year letter winner, 3 league championships while being named to the first team All-League the last 2 years. And he holds school records for stolen bases at 35 and runs scored at 37. Yeah,
Ny's a dynamic, center fielder type player. Hopefully, we can envision him, being top of the order, just a pest on the bases. Solid defender in center field. He just brings that speed element, just kind of table setter guy. So really athletic. We're looking forward to him. He knows. He just loved, what Titans are all about, and he's also fits in that mold of type of character and players that we're looking for.
Wasn't he also one of the guys that either played in the area codes or some of the perfect games?
Yeah, that's correct. He was. Him and Jason were also on the Oakland A's.
And then a couple more, both pitchers. Derek Turner, right-handed pitcher out of Thousand Oaks, Newbury Park High School, 3-year letter winner, named Pitcher of the Year his sophomore year while also earning first-team All-League honors. And he was also named a team captain his junior and his senior year.
Yeah, Derek's similar. Chad Gurnea, he also has a chance to come here and play a position. He is a shortstop, but he's also very dynamic on the mound, good delivery, arm action, and he's starting to fill out into his frame. But he's a guy that could potentially do both for us here, but we see a lot of good things out of Derek.
And then finally, Andrew Wright, left-handed pitcher, Woodbridge, California, went to Lodi High School, 3-year letter winner, first team All-League as a junior and helped lead the team to the playoff in the semifinals.
Yeah, another lefty that we see developing here. He's kind of a late bloomer. Didn't get a lot of attention, but we really followed him closely, and he started making big strides that we saw. So we were excited to get him as well, and think that he's got a bright future here.
So talking about the class seems to have more guys that play in those perfect games and those area codes. What's the challenge? You mentioned it and you kind of alluded to it a little bit ago, that now you got them signed. We got to try to keep them signed before they go off and get lured away by the professionals. I mean, how do you as a coaching staff try to be able to get those guys that are getting that professional attention?
And that's one thing that, me coming from the other side and being a professional scout, I know kind of both sides now, and you just try to lay it out to them and see what they're looking for. I mean, it ultimately comes down to them and their decision, and if they're really ready for it, or is it the money that they're is going to sway them. So you just try to feel them out best you can, educate them best you can, and ultimately it's going to be the best decision for them and their family. But I think all these guys, and speaking with them and their families, that they really want to be here, get their education started, and they know that they'll have the time to grow up and still have that opportunity, hopefully after 3 years, and even maybe put themselves in a better position and be more prepared, just mentally, physically, and have grown up in the process. So it's it's just one of those things out of our hands, and we can just do our best to keep a pulse on it, and like I said, try to educate them best we can.
Seeing how college baseball is so unique in the fact that guys out of high school can sign professional contracts and immediately go start playing getting their professional career started, but then recruiting those guys, it's kind of difficult knowing that you can't necessarily. I mean, there's not many guys out there like the Matt McClains of the world, played down here in Orange County, who says, I don't care if you draft me number one. He gets drafted number one. He says, I'm still going to UCLA. There's not that many guys out there that if they get drafted in the first or second round, the money is life-changing and they can't turn it down. I don't know if any of the guys in the class and how you tailor your recruiting process of what, more than likely this guy is probably going to take, if he's a first or second round, we need to concentrate on somebody who might be an 8th rounder because the money might not be luring them away, and education is more of a, I mean, how do you go about deciphering who to target and who to go after?
I think, first and foremost, we want the best player possible, whether we think they're going to be drafted in the 1st round or 10th round or not at all. I mean, and ultimately it's, are they the best fit for the program and the type of player and the type of culture that we're trying to build here. So I think all those factors have to, there's a lot of good players that we pass on that we just don't feel like are a great fit for what the environment that we have and the culture that we're trying to bring. I mean, we want guys that are team players that are excited to have that Titan, logo across their chest. So I think a lot of that factors in, and we want guys that are 1st rounders. We want them to be 1st rounders. So I don't think that'll sway us at all. It's just a matter of if they're the right fit or not.
Is it talking to the families and the players, or how do you gauge if what's going to be the best fit? Because obviously the best athlete on the field might not necessarily be the best fit.
Yeah, I think it's a culmination of all those things. You talk to the families, you talk to the player, you talk to their coaches, you just do a lot of homework, teachers, and try to find out the character of the player, what their ultimate goals are. I think there's just so many factors. What kind of student are they? I think a lot of those things play into the big picture, and so Coach Dietrich's very adamant about that. Us, Coach Walton and I doing our homework on the players and talking to sources and getting to know the players. That's why a lot of times, there's kids that we've been recruiting. A lot of these kids we recruited for quite some time and got to know them really well. It wasn't just like, hey, we saw you at a tournament, come down, we want to commit you. We did a lot of background, we did a lot of homework, and hopefully that leads to good decisions.
Now that this class is signed, how do you continue to recruit that class? You don't necessarily say, hey, thanks for thanks for the signature. Now we're going to forget about you until, draft day or whatever happens to be. How do you continue to recruit the class that you've already got signed while still recruiting future classes down the road?
I think it's just the communication. We all try to reach out at some point. We'll have some group chats and just try to continually keep them involved. Once the season starts, hopefully they come out to games and they just want to be a part of it. So it's continues, like you said. It's not, hey, thanks, you signed, we forget about you. We continually recruit you. Keep building that relationship. I think that's important, and we also try to get them to get to know each other also. Because they're all coming in together. We had them here, on an official visit together. Just try to start building that chemistry between them, and hopefully, once they get here, they already feel like they're Titans. I mean, they already are, but you just continue to build that and stay on top of it.
Do you find a particular player in the class is kind of dyed in the wool as the Titan, and you can kind of lean on him a little bit more to say, hey, you know what, I want, you're coming. I want you to be able to be a second recruiter, essentially, or a second coach, essentially, kind of keeping the other guys kind of as a cohesive group, because you see this a lot in football, that the top of the class is true blue, going to go to that school, and then he's the one that actually kind of continues to keep that recruiting class together. Like, hey, let's come in and do this as a group.
Yeah, I don't think we designate anyone specifically, but I think amongst themselves, they're already starting to talk about it and like, hey, this will be cool. We're all coming in, and I think they start getting excited. They've all applied now, and then you start working on housing and those type of things. So then I think it kind of builds it up and gets exciting for them, and we'll keep them up to date with any information that we have on the upcoming season or about the team, and we try to make them feel a big part of it, and to know that they can reach out to us anytime. They're already a part of the Titan family in our eyes, so we just, like I said, try to foster that the best we can and just continue to build that up, so that way, if they do have those overtures from pro, they already feel like that's going to be hard because they're already kind of engaged and feel like a Titan. So we just do the best we can, and hopefully they all show up, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
Thanks for listening to the 1544 Miles to Omaha podcast. Feel free to visit our website, calstateomaha.com. While there, you can order an official Cal State Omaha t-shirt from the merch store. Want to help others find this podcast? Please add a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does help. The 1544 Miles to Omaha podcast is an On the Lam Enterprises production and is not affiliated with Cal State Fullerton or Titan Baseball.